So, first up, we have IGPX. So you can see this release is released like this. What can I say about the DVDs? Well, first of all, it's 12 episodes on 3 discs, 13 episodes on 3 discs. Disc 1 on this series does not like to play back if I tell Virtual Dub to skip to the menu, which is strange. Not many DVDs are almost completely unplayable in that way. Anyways, the basic story of this is it's racing with transforming robots that almost ski on concrete. That's the way I would describe it. It's pretty cool. They race in groups of 3, so they're like teams of 3 on 3. But it's not just racing. There's also a battle aspect to it where they also fight each other. It was actually pretty entertaining. I was afraid that it would be kind of mediocre in a bunch of different respects, but I found it to be pretty exciting to watch, which made me really reluctant to watch season 2. But I thought that season 2 was actually as enjoyable, although there was a period of time between when I watched them, so my memory on that is a bit vague. Oh, speaking of bit vague memories, I was also asked to show Revolutionary Girl Utena, and I have this box set version. I think they've been recently re-releasing a ton of it. This is the Rose Collection, which contains 2 volumes and the Revolutionary Girl Utena movie, which you might not need to watch the series to watch it, but I'll be honest, I never did quite finish the series, and I think I remember enough where I could probably jump in around where I was and pick it back up, because it's just, it really leaves an impression. It's just strange and weird and confusing, and it's awesome. The basic story is that the main girl, Utena, she ends up fighting sword fights with people in this special arena. Utena is our main girl. She dresses like a guy. She gets flack for that from school officials in the anime, I believe. And I think that's the basic story, but I'll be honest, the overall story, well, I never did quite watch all of it, and I think I have vague ideas, but without having finished it, I have to say I am left a bit confused. But yeah, this should be all of it, unless there's more that was never released on DVD that I'm aware of, or that I wasn't aware of, or whatnot. But I don't know, that's what I've got. I'm pretty sure if I'm missing anything important, y'all would tell me, because y'all usually do. So, Nobari, full name something like Nobari no Ui, or something? Au? I don't know. I've only actually watched the first 13 parts. Or the first 13 episodes. It wasn't bad, but somehow it made me excited it would be something I guess it wasn't. And you know how it's like when you watch something that doesn't quite live up to expectations. Sometimes you end up finding something else to watch, and then before you know it, you don't have enough time. The basic story is our main character has some sort of secret ultimate ninja spell sealed inside their body, and they couldn't give a rat's ass. Well, actually, rat's ass probably describes the way I wanted them to feel about it, but really, it doesn't entirely feel that way, I think, and that's maybe part of what the problem was. I'll be honest, if I were to try and finish it, I would rewatch it from the beginning. We have Kanan, and you know what? I don't remember what it was about. It's a bit unfortunate. It was just this one release, I believe. Let's see. All 13 episodes on 2 discs, so yeah, if you look inside, you can see it's got everything. Oh, this one was dubbed, so I guess it's not like Sentai has been dubbing stuff more recently. It's just more common for stuff they release to be subtitled. I was asked to show Queen's Blade, and I actually have the individuals of the first season instead of the complete collection. And since the second season is still being released, I have what's been released thus far. The basic story of Queensblade is the gods set up the Queensblade tournament to determine who the queen of the land would be, so a bunch of women fight each other. And our main character is pretty much this girl who is not a competent fighter, so to speak, but she is fighting in the Queensblade tournament anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any other way to really describe it. There's a bunch of characters doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, and there's a bunch of excuses for clothing to disappear and breasts to be shown, panties to pop up on the screen, etc., etc. It's a very fan-servicey series. And the last DVD series I've been asked to show is Soul Eater. And as you can see, I got the original 13 episode at a time release versions. It's very consistent with everything I do. The basic story of Soul Eater is, let's see, you have people who fight. Their goal. Okay, so you have your trainers and you have your weapons. Now, of course, she looks like a human. They transform into weapons, and the basic idea is they're trying to turn them into death size, and the way they do that is by collecting 100 Kishin souls or something. I don't remember. Kishin eggs, I think, is what they were called, and then a witch's soul or something like that. And our story involves 3 characters, Maka and Soul. Was his name Soul? We've got a Black Star, and I don't remember her name. And, oh, look, it's, what did they call him? Kid Death? He's a Grim Reaper instead of a regular humanish person, and those are his weapons. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things about it that are definitely cheesy, but I think they're over the top to be over the top. It certainly felt that way while watching it. And it's a series about madness, essentially. And it's actually pretty entertaining to watch because of that. I can't really think of too much more to say because, they basically do this, do that, try and hunt down this Kishin egg, that Kishin egg, and the overall story just gets introduced as you go, but the way the characters behave and whatnot are introduced at the very beginning. Anyways, that's the last of the DVDs, but that's not the end of Inside the Box. I was also asked to show my Blu-rays, and we're going to begin that with probably my more valued, one of my more valued Blu-ray collections. That would be the Garden of Sinners Blu-ray discs, limited edition, released in Japan, but with subtitles imported here into the US. Basically, each of these discs is a different movie, including the bonus disc, which has kind of a mini review movie. Mini review movie that aired before the final movie, and also a special that was, I think, released on DVD before, after the final movie. Hold on, this paper was inside the book. There we go. The series itself was very interesting. I think watching it, I might have missed the overall point, but there were definitely cool things, cool visuals here and there along the lines. There we go. Let me think. I guess the basic story is, I think her name is Shiki. She can see lines of death. So if she can see something and it can die, she can kill it. Or rather, if she can see it at all, she can kill it. I think that's a general idea. How that plays out in this show is actually more difficult to say. Each movie is really, they're all part of the same overall, but they cover a specific, different, important aspect. So it's really hard to summarize the entire series other than just giving the general idea, I guess. I also imported this from Japan since, as far as I could tell, Black Rock Shooter had been translated into every language known to man. Actually, it's more like 7 or 8 languages, but still here. Now, I'm not going to go into too great a detail on a lot of these boxes, but as you can see, there's a normal Blu-ray on the inside, and there's a DVD version as well. Of course, that one can't play in my DVD players. I have to strip it of its region coding, which I did, and I didn't put it on the anime media server, since really that's the region 1 anime media server. It's probably a non-important distinction, but it's a distinction I make nonetheless. Let's see, from just last week, we also have Katanagatari, which, as I pointed out then, NIS did their standard release with the book and the 2 things, but each of these actually came with a DVD and a Blu-ray version. I never actually did fire up the Blu-ray until Curiosity, just a couple days ago. Although I didn't watch the show itself, I just fired it up as a demonstration of the new TV, which I should have talked about in the previous video. And also, Arakawa Under the Bridge. It also, as another NIS release, had DVD and Blu-ray versions of the discs. And really, that's what a lot of my Blu-ray anime are anime that were released on both Blu-ray and DVD at the same time. Okay, I guess first we'll just begin with the Blu-ray only releases. First up, we have Street Fighter 4. Wait, this is the PlayStation 3 game. Here we go. This is the Blu-ray version of the Street Fighter 4 OVA. It's a prequel to Street Fighter 4. We have Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. They call this complete, which basically just means that it has extra cutscenes that were not in either of the DVD releases, I think. Unless they came out with yet another one. Then we got the 3 Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, which I have not watched at all because I haven't gotten to a place where I've caught up on Gundam yet. I just keep going all over the place with my watching. There was also a Meccano Limited Edition Blu-ray release, which I went ahead and got. It may look like 2 cases, but the first one has 2 discs inside of it. I'll fire this one up because it's a simple anime to put up on the screen and look at. Let's see. And then after this, we get to all the things that were released in Blu-ray DVD combo packs, other than the NIS stuff that's oddly shaped that I showed last time. So we've got Eden of the East, The King of Eden, which would be the first movie. As you can see, we got a disc 1 and a disc 2, and those are DVD, and then we got The King of Eden. This one Blu-ray. I'm guessing that if there's specials on the DVD second disc, that those are that. Let me see. Gare Zero. We've got disc 1, disc 2, and extras. So for disc 1, we have DVD disc 1 and Blu-ray disc 1. And then in the box label disc 2, we have Blu-ray disc 2 and DVD disc 2 and disc 3, which is the extras, which is a DVD. We have this is either 2 or TO. It's a collection of 2 OVAs that was released on DVD, and Blu-ray. Which probably means the DVD releases are actually fairly high quality. I haven't watched it yet, so I'll maybe be able to find out soon. Dance in the Vampire Boond. You may notice a lot of these are Funimation releases. I don't really complain about it. Let's see. I don't really complain about it, because if sooner or later I'm going to have to go back and start purchasing Blu-rays I've skipped up till now. I've focused on DVDs because DVDs have been my goal. And Ride Back is the last one here. Although this one's a bit different. See this? It just has a keychain in it, I think. Whereas they put all of their discs in one thing here. But yeah, Region 1 DVDs is my goal. Getting all of them is my goal. So naturally, there's not a whole lot of need to focus on the Blu-rays, since I didn't feel the need to adapt them in the off chance the industry didn't go that way. But at this point, I could almost get them. It's just I haven't started doing that yet. Oh well. Anyways, that completes all of my Blu-ray stuff. It's actually more than I thought it was, so it took a while to dig them out. But there you go.